And the Bengals win. That sounds nice, doesn't it? A 33-25 W. Bengals over the Jaguars this Sunday. Joe Burrow, 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. That interception was an interception that came off a throw that bounced off of Sample's face, to say the very least, here in the end zone. Was a nice play there. Couldn't cash in on it. Came back to Sample, though, right next drive. So Burrow showing that confidence in Sample. Even after, you want to call it a mistake, tough play, whatever, defensive man was right in his face. There's still a good defensive play. Sample just couldn't come down with it. Bengals threw the interception there. They answered, though. 1 sack all game. 1 sack all game. Say it a little bit louder. This offensive line allowed 1 sack all game. Looked like their best game of the season thus far as protecting Joe Burrow. He was pressured 14 times on 40 dropbacks, which was the lowest ratio of the season for him. Mixon, 25 attempts, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground this week. You talk about big. Joe Mixon, I wouldn't say Joe Mixon is struggling, but the offensive line struggling all year to get a push, to get Mixon even the ability to get to the line of scrimmage. Again, offensive line played a lot better today. Mixon was able to break some tackles, get some big chunk plays up there as well. A big plus there. Plus the 6 receptions, 30 yards, and a touchdown. Mixon ended up with 3 touchdowns on the game. A career day for Mixon back there for these Bengals. And look at this. 4 players had 20-plus yard catches this game, an area the Bengals have struggled mightily in this season. I know, again, in due part too, the Bengals not having time to sit back there and throw the football. Again, compliments to the offensive line for playing better this week. Alex Redmond, who would have known he was the big secret? Slide him in there and the team starts making some blocks up there. Maybe. We'll see. Got another week against Baltimore next week. That'll be a tough one. But the defense, Bengals defense made some big plays in coverage. Again, you want to see the defensive line, I guess, get to the quarterback a little bit more. They did get 3 sacks. Felt like some more coverage sacks in there as the secondary is doing a good job of containing the plays over there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But was it Jesse Bates first drive of the game there? Got that pass swatted away, deflected it in the air, got the Bengals the interception. I love it. I love seeing a safety fly around the field, and Jesse Bates, I feel like he's going to be that guy for these Bengals for quite some time here. To make that big play early like that, those are the big plays you need. Now, unfortunately, the Bengals will go right back and punt it, but those are the big plays you need in games when you start to play, tougher opponents than the Jaguars, and you need to get that, big turnover, turn that turnover into points. So it's good to see that kind of tempo get set early there, to see that Bengals defense flying around there, I think. And it seemed like that's what, they had that jolt starting that game. It looked like that a little bit extra fire behind them there. This was a big game, though. Big because it felt like a team win for this Bengals. Every dimension of this game, it felt like the Bengals played very well. And from the defense, from the offensive line, from the run game, from the pass game, it was good. And I don't care how, good or bad that Jacksonville defensive line is at rushing the passer, one of the worst teams in the league as far as sacks are concerned this season. But still, from a Bengals offensive line perspective, where they was just letting anybody run roughshod on Joe Burrow for these first 3 weeks, it's a huge confidence booster. Again, I don't care who is on that side of the defensive line. The fact that they can give Joe Burrow some time to pick apart the defense, make some plays, not take as many hits. As much as Joe seems to love taking those hits still, holding onto that ball until the last second, rolling out if he has to and takes those shots. He likes getting hit, but we don't want to see him get hit. And to see that offensive line play better, that's great. You even seen Joe Burrow, they celebrated with that offensive line post-game. You seen him show the appreciation in the post-game conference, which, hey, demeanor change. Joe Burrow looked like a different man in that post-game conference after a W, and you love seeing it. Show the excitement. Show the confidence in his team. Praise them in the W's. All serious in the losses. You want to get better. Right? I love the mindset, right? And I think it really feels like, a confidence building game for this Bengals offensive line. I hope that's the case here because they got Baltimore next week. That's going to be a tougher matchup. No questions about it. But if they can start to get some chemistry going, and again, we've always talked about this. We don't need this offense. We don't expect this offensive line to be an offensive line that's going to be a Dallas Cowboys or a Pittsburgh Steelers or the Seattle Seahawks offensive line that's just going to give them all day to throw the football. We're just asking for average or a little bit below average. Right now, it's been scary seeing how many times he's gotten hit. So to see them come together and gel this week, and it felt like Joe Burrow wasn't getting killed every time he dropped back, was great. And if they can build on that, again, we've talked about it, the chemistry from an offensive line standpoint, the more they play together, the more they get snaps. And that was, again, a unique combination this week that we haven't seen with Redmond being plugged in there. They can start to get things rolling just a little bit. This Bengals team still has a chance to fight here, I think. If there's one concern, of this game once again. I mean, I guess it's AJ Green, right? One catch, 5 yards. And it was another game where AJ seen that deep ball from Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow overthrew him. And I don't know who you question on this. Is it Joe Burrow just overthrowing him coincidentally every single week? Or do you start to hear, because you hear it a lot. You hear a lot about the AJ Green jogging out a route or not getting the full acceleration going. You even heard the announcer bring it up. He said AJ Green couldn't really get that separation and excel there to get to that ball. Is that the problem? Or is it just a little bit of unfortunate bad throws here by Joe Burrow when he's rolling out on the run there, throwing it to AJ Green deep? Because that, what, 3 weeks out of 4 now? 3 weeks out of 4, AJ Green could have a 30, 40 plus yard touchdown catch if they connect on those plays. And I think that's the end all be all story, right? Whether he is running them out, whether Joe Burrow's overthrowing them, AJ's getting open. This guy's getting open for big plays, and Joe's finding him. The problem is they're not connecting. Those are going to connect. We've said it now week after week after week, but they're going to connect. We're going to see 30, 40, 50 plus yard touchdown passes come out of this team, and it's going to really open things up for this offense, I think, when they have to start respecting that deep ball that they see Joe Burrow connecting on with AJ Green. I think AJ knows it. He hasn't shown any frustration out there. He's happy to win. He's being a good team player about it right now, even though he's no question about it. He's not having a season he wanted on a franchise tag. And that's always good to see. It's good to see the locker rooms, still together here on this one, even after an 0-2-1 start, which, by the way, let's talk, could easily be 2-1-1, could easily be 3-1-1. You could bring up the argument for 4-0 right now for these Bengals. They've been in every single game. And there's a lot of season left to be played here. We'll see what they can happen. As for this one, thank you guys for watching. Go Bengals. We'll see you next time.